10:30. They've gone now, and I'm alone at last. I have the whole night ahead of me, and I won't waste a single moment of it. I shan't sleep it away. I can't dream it away either. I mustn't, because every moment of it will be far too precious. I want to remember everything, just as it was, just as it happened. I've had nearly 18 years of yesterdays and tomorrows, and tonight I want to remember as many of them as possible. I want tonight to be as long as my life. Tonight, more than any other night of my life, I want to feel alive.
Oh, come on, Tommo. School's not that bad. Mr. Mullings may have a raging temper, and I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him when his hands start twitching for his cane. But it's not all bad, honest.
Big Joe doesn't have to go to school, and I don't think that's fair at all.
Big Joe is Big Joe. He's allowed to stay at home in his tree, seeing oranges and lemons all day long.
Big Joe's always happy, always smiling. I wish I could be happy like him. I wish I could be at home like him. I don't want to go, Charlie. I don't want to go to school.
Piggyback? First day's the worst, though. Honest?
Whenever you say honest, Charlie, I know it's not true.
To add to my trials and tribulations. Name, boy?
Tommo, sir. Thomas Peaceful.
Was not one peaceful enough? What have I done to deserve another one? First a Charlie Peaceful, and now a Thomas Peaceful. Is there no end to my woes? Understand this, Thomas Peaceful, that here I am your lord and master. You do what I say when I say it. You do not cheat, you do not lie, you do not blaspheme, your hands will be clean, and you do not come to school in bare feet. These are my commandments. Do I make myself absolutely clear?
Yes, sir.
Thomas, you'll be sitting there next to Molly, and your shoelaces are undone. Crying won't do your shoelaces done.
I can't, miss.
Can't is not a word we use in this class, Thomas Peaceful. Guess we'll just have to teach you to tie your bootlaces. That's why we're all here, to learn. That's why we can all come to school, don't we? You show him, Molly. Molly's the oldest in my class and my best pupil. You show him.
Molly tied laces very differently from Charlie. Delicately. Slowly. She wouldn't look up at me. Not once. I wish she would. Her hair was chestnut brown and shining. I wanted to reach out and touch it. Then she looked up at me at last and smiled. At home, we didn't wear boots except for church. Father always used to wear his great hobnail boots. The boots he died in.
Off you go, you scallywag. You enjoy yourself.
Look at the tree, swaying and creaking, whilst all the other trees are still.
Tommo! Tommo! Run, Tommo!
When I came to, I saw him at once. His arm was outstretched towards me, his finger pointing at me. His eyes were open, but I knew he couldn't see. He wasn't breathing. Father! Father, no!
Big Joe, swallow. His father tried to escape. He always said in his next life he wanted to be a bird, so he could fly free wherever he wanted.
James Peaceful was a good man. One of the best men that I have ever known. The salt of the earth, always cheerful as he went about his work. The Peaceful family have been employed by my family now for 5 generations. In all his 30 years as forester on my estate, he was never once late for work. He was a credit to his family and to his village, and made me endlessly pleased.
He's just like Father said, a mad old duffer, a silly old fart.
Charlie, it's your father's funeral. It's the colonel that pays the wages and aims a roof over our head. Show more respect. But Joe, Father's not really in his coffin. He's up there, in heaven. He's happy. Happy as the birds. Swallow. Yes, Big Joe. That is a swallow.
He was trying to save me. If only I had run, he wouldn't be now lying there, dead. All I can help feeling is I've just killed my own father.
To 11. I don't want to eat stew, potatoes and biscuits. I usually like stew, but I have no appetite for it. I've been nibbling at this biscuit all day long, and I don't want it either. Not now. It's a good thing Grandma Wolf isn't here. She always hated us for leaving food on our plates. Waste not, want not, she'd say. Well, I'm wasting this, wolf woman, whether you like it or not.
Bread and butter pudding? My favourite. Here, Big Joe, have mine.
Is there anything you won't eat, Big Joe?
I bet he'd even eat rabbit droppings. Look what I got today.
Never.
Do you want the bet? 6 pence?
Go on then.
Here, Big Joe, fancy a sweet? No, not for me, thanks, Big Joe. A present for you.
Not for me, thanks. I'm stuffed.
Big Joe? What's this? Charlie?
Quick, Tommo, make a run for it!
You're going nowhere. Big Joe, drink up. And Charlie and Tommo. How sweet to keep Big Joe company.
Mother!
You're going nowhere until you do. Horrible, isn't it? Horrible food for horrible children. Don't treat Big Joe like that ever again.
I didn't want the 6 pence after that. Mother told us when we were older that Big Joe nearly died at birth. Brain damage, said the doctors at the hospital. Meningitis. It was Big Joe who got me into my first ever fight.
My dad's the best. Much better than your dad, Pete. Doesn't make him better.
Who says?
I do. Ow! That rope!
So what does your dad do, Tommo? My dad's dead, Les.
Oh. Well, my dad's a rat catcher.
Like the Pied Piper of Hamelin?
Yes. He doesn't like children.
Oh, Big Joe, what have you got there? A slow worm. That's lovely. Did you get it from Father's grave? Who's got a loony for a brother? Well, you say Jimmy Parsons. Your brother's a loony. Off his head, off his rocker, nuts, barmy. Get off! Get off! Get off!
Jimmy Parsons, what do you say?
Get out.
Come here. Don't cry, Tommo. Charlie gave Jimmy what for? I like Big Joe. He's kind. I like people who are kind.
And I like people who like Big Joe.
There you are. Keep it. Keep it forever.
I will, till the day I die.
Elsa! 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 Elsa!
Did it hurt, Charlie? A little bit. Jimmy Parsons won't do it again. I hit him where it hurt. In the goonies. Are you all right, Tommo?
My nose hurts a bit.
Well, so does my bum.
I really liked Big Joe. It was then that I knew I'd love her till the day I die.
I would like a word, Mrs. Peaceful.
Children, finish your tea. The Colonel and I won't be a minute.
It may seem a little indelicate to broach the subject so soon after your late husband's sad and untimely demise, but it's a question of the cottage. Strictly speaking, of course, we have no right to live here. As you know, it is a tied cottage, tied to your late husband's job on my estate. And now, with him gone,
I know what you're saying, Colonel. You want us out.
well, I wouldn't put it quite like that, Mrs. Beazle. No, not quite like that. Not if we could come to some other arrangement.
Arrangement? What arrangement?
Well, as it happens, there's a job up at my house. My wife's Lady Maid has just given me news. As you know, my wife is not a well-woman. She spends most of her days in a wheelchair. She needs constant caring and attention, 7 days a week.
But I have children, Colonel. Who will look after my children?
Well, the 2 boys are old enough to fend for themselves, I should have thought. And as for the other one, there's always the lunatic asylum in Esther. I'm sure I could find a place for her.
But I could never do that, Colonel. Never. But if I want to keep a roof over our heads, I'll have to find some way I can come to work for you as your wife's maid. That's what you're telling me, isn't it?
I would say you understand the position perfectly. I will need your agreement within a week. Good day, and once again, my condolences.
What's happening now, Mother?
Well, we'll have to do as we're told. And in the meantime, your great aunt can come and look after you.
Grandma, no!
She's your great aunt, not your grandma. Show more respect.
But she's still a wolf.
Tommo, wash your hands before eating. Charlie, is your hair done? And don't talk with your mouth full. Tommo, don't leave anything on your plate. Waste not, want not. Big Joe, who's a clever boy? Did you enjoy your supper? Let Mummy wipe your mouth.
Oranges.
harshly singing at the table, you stupid big baby. You haven't been brought up properly, you peaceful children. Manners are terrible. You don't know right from wrong. Your mother married beneath her, of course. I told her then, and I've told her since. She could have done far better than herself. But did she listen? Oh no, wouldn't have it. She had to marry the first man to turn her head, and him, nothing but a forester. She was meant for better things, a better class of person. We were shopkeepers. We ran a proper shop and made a tidy profit too, in a big way of business, I'll have you know. But oh no, she wouldn't have it. Broke your grandfather's heart, she did. And now look what she's come to. A lady's maid at her age. Trouble. Your mother's been nothing but trouble since the day she was born, and you boys, you're nothing but coarse and vulgar. Why can't you be more like Molly? Her parents are proper people. Her father is a groom up at the big house. God-fearing people who bring up their children well, good and strict. That Molly's a good influence on the boys. She'll teach you some manners. Now bed, the lot of you.
What are we going to do now, Charlie?
I don't know. But don't worry. I'll tell you a story. How about that? Once upon a time, there was a colonel who was secretly in love with Grandma Wolf. Grandma Wolf's nephews knew this and wanted to get rid of her.
Charlie?
And so the nephews went up to the big house and pushed the colonel's wife into the lake and drowned her. And Mother came home and everything was just as it had been.
But what happened to Grandma Wolf?
The colonel and Grandma Wolf get married and live unhappily ever after. And because they were so old, they had lots of little monster children with gappy teeth and wrinkly skin. The girls with moustaches like Grandma Wolf, the boys with whiskers like the colonel.
Go to sleep, boys.
Good night, Tommo.
Good night, Charlie. What's the noise, Charlie?
Shh. I don't know. What's happening now, Mother?
Your mother will explain. I have to go up to the big house. I have work to do.
So?
It's very sad news. The colonel's wife has passed away.
Charlie? Honest? It wasn't me!
Don't be silly. She was a frail old woman and she's given up her struggle, that's all.
Well, what about the cottage, Mother?
You know, for some time, your great aunt used to work as a housekeeper up at the big house.
And then she got kicked out by the colonel's wife?
She lost her job, yes, but now it seems that the colonel's wife has passed away. The colonel wants your great aunt back as a live-in housekeeper. She'll be moving back to the big house as soon as possible.
And the cottage?
The colonel's wife liked me. She made the colonel promise to look after me if anything happened to her. You can say what you like about the colonel, but he's a man of his word. I've agreed to do all of his linen for him and his sewing work, and most of it we can bring home. So we'll have some money coming in. Well, aren't you happy? We're staying put.
Yes!
Oranges! Oranges! Lemons! The bells of St. Clement!
Come on, Molly! feel of it, the life you're about to live.
Hey Charlie, I dare you to take off your clothes.
Oh, all right then. Come on, Molly, let's jump in the river! Come on, Tommy, the water's lovely!
Come on, Tommo, I won't look. Promise. I'm going to get dressed. No peeping.
Okay.
Go away. I want to die. Right here, right now. I never want tomorrow to come. Because I know that tomorrow can never be as good as today. I know. I'll tell our future. I've seen the gypsies do it. They say we'll be together. The three of us. Forever and ever. And as long as we stick together, we'll be lucky and happy. And the stones never lie. So you're stuck with me.
Yes! What's that noise?
Must be the Colonel's car.
His Rolls Royce is the only car for miles around. But it's not coming from the road.
It's coming from the sky.
An aeroplane! No! Hello! Look out! Better not switch off. May never get the damn thing started again. Listen, the truth is, I reckon I'm a little bit lost. That church up there on the hill, is that Lapford Church? No, that's Innesley, St. James's. Innesley? You sure?
Yeah.
Quite sure. Whoops, then I was really lost. Jolly good thing I stopped, wasn't it? Thank you for your help. Better be off. Here, you like hot bugs?
Yes.
My favourite. Cheerio then. So well back. Here we go. Goodbye.
Was that real? Did that really happen?
We've got our humbugs, so it really must be real.
Every time I eat a humbug, I'm going to remember that yellow plane and the three of us and how we are now.
Me too. Me too.
To midnight. I'm not sure I ever really believed in God. Even in Sunday school. In church, I'd gaze up at Jesus hanging on the cross in the stained glass window and feel sorry for him because I could see how cruel it was and how much pain he was going through. I knew he was a good and kind man, but I never really understood why God, who was supposed to be his father, and almighty, and powerful, would let them do that to him, would let him suffer that much. I believed then, as I believe now, that crossed fingers and molly stones are every bit as reliable or unreliable as praying to God. But if there's no God, then that means that there can be no heaven. Tonight, I want very much to believe that there is a heaven, that there is a new life after death. Like Father said, death is not a full stop. We'd all changed, all grown. Charlie and Molly left school. I was alone.
At last, Charlie. I thought you'd never come. Come on, home time.
I was a big un in Mr. Munning's class. I hated him now, even more than I feared him. Charlie and Molly found work up at the big house. Molly is an underpile maid, and Charlie found work in the Colonel's hunt kennels. But soon after, Charlie had a serious run-in with the Colonel.
Charlie, Tommo, come help with this washing.
Tommo, what? I'm in trouble.
What have you done?
I'm in real trouble. But I had to do it. You know Bertha? That white little foxhound up at the big house?
Yes?
Well, she's always been my favourite. And then this afternoon, the Colonel comes by and tells me he's going to have to shoot her because she's no good at hunting anymore. Did you know what I did, Tommo?
No?
I stole her, ran off with her, through the trees, so no one would see us.
Where is she now? What have you done with her?
You know that old forester shack Father used? Up in Ford's Cleve Wood. I put her in there for the night. I gave her some food. Molly pinched some meat from the kitchen. Bertha will be alright up there. No one will hear her. With a bit of luck, anyway.
But what will you do with her tomorrow? What if the Colonel finds out?
He'll know. As soon as he finds Bertha gone, he'll know it was me. I don't care what he does. I won't tell him where she is.
I think you know why I have come, Mrs. Peaceful.
No, Colonel, I don't.
That a young devil hasn't told you that boy of yours is a despicable beast. In my employment, in a position of trust, he steals one of my pots. Don't deny it, boy. I know it. Where is she? Is she here? Well, is she?
He was going to shoot her mother. I had to do it.
See? He admits it! He admits it!
So you took her in order to save her, Charlie? Is that right?
Yes, Mother.
Well, you shouldn't have done that, should you?
No, Mother.
Would you tell the Colonel where you've hidden her?
No, Mother.
I don't think so. Colonel, am I right in thinking if you were going to shoot this dog, presumably she's no use to you anymore? As a foxhound, I mean.
Yes! But what I do with my own animals is no business of yours, Mrs. Peaceful!
Of course not, Colonel. But if you were going to shoot her, she's useless. So you wouldn't mind if I were to take her off your hands, would you?
You can do what you like with the damn dog! You can bloody well in trouble all I can! But that boy of yours stole it from me, and I will not let that go unpunished!
Sixpence, Colonel. I'm buying the dog off. Not a bad price for a useless dog. So now it's not stolen, is it?
Fine! But you can consider yourself no longer in my employment! Good day!
I don't know what you've got to be so almighty pleased about. Do you know you just lost your job, Charlie?
He can stuff his stinking job. I'll find another. You put this silly old fart in his place. Good and proper. And we've got Bertha.
After a few weeks going around all the farms in the parish looking for work, Charlie found work as a dairyman and shepherd up at Farmer Cox's place on the other side of the village. He would go off before dawn to do the milking and come back late in the cold evenings. Charlie would come home, hang up his coat on Father's peg, put his boots outside in the porch, and warm his feet in the bottom oven, just as father had done. This was the first time I was ever really jealous of Charlie. I wanted to put my feet in the bottom oven. I wanted to come home from proper work and earn money like Charlie did. But most of all, I wanted us to get together again, for things to be just as it had been. But things never stay the same. When I did see Molly, which was only on Sundays now, she was kinder than ever. Almost too kind. More like a mother than a friend. Her hair was cut short. Her plaits were gone. That changed the whole look of her. Molly was not a girl anymore. Then suddenly, she stopped coming round altogether. So Charlie sent me to her cottage with a letter.
Go away! Just go away! Don't you understand? We don't want your kind here. We don't want you bothering our Molly. She doesn't want to see you.
Tommo, don't go. The Colonel came to our cottage. I overheard it all. He told Father that Charlie Peaceful was a thief, and that he heard he'd been seeing much more of me than was good for me. And if my parents had any sense, they put a stop to it. So Father won't let me see Charlie anymore. He won't let me see any of you. I'm so miserable up at the big house without Charlie, and I hated it at home too. Father'll strap me if I see Charlie. I think he means it too.
Why?
He says I'm wicked, born in sin. Mother says he's only trying to save me from myself so that I won't go to hell. He's always talking about hell. I won't go to hell, will I, Tommo? I want to see Charlie. I miss him so much.
That reminds me. Here's a letter from Charlie.
Tell him yes. Yes, I will.
Just yes.
Yes. Same time, same place. Tomorrow, I'll write a letter back and you can give it to Charlie. I love you, Tommo. I love you both, and Big Joe, and Bertha.
That was the first dozen letters I delivered from Charlie to Molly, and from Molly to Charlie over the weeks and months that followed. All throughout my last year at school, I was their go-between postman. I didn't mind really, because it meant I got to see Molly, which is all that mattered to me. It was all done in great secrecy. Charlie insisted on that. He made me swear on the Holy Bible not to tell anyone, not even Mother. He made me cross my heart and hope to die. Molly and I would meet most evenings and exchange letters down by the brook. Both of us having made quite sure we weren't followed. We'd spend a few precious minutes chatting, often with the rain dripping through the trees. The trees might come down on us.
Do you know what they're all talking about up at the big house? All the talk is with the war with Germany.
War?
Everyone thinks it'll happen sooner rather than later. I read about it myself in the newspaper, so it must be true.
I didn't know you read a newspaper.
It's my job every morning to iron the Colonel's Times before I take it to him in his study. He insists that his paper should be crisp and dry, so that ink does not come off in his fingers while he's reading it. I'll admit, I don't really know what all this war is about. Some archduke, whatever that is, has been shot in a place called Sarajevo, wherever that is, and Germany and France are very angry with each other. They're gathering their armies to fight, and if they do, well then, we'll have to help the French fight the Germans.
Why?
I don't know, but the Colonel is in a terrible mood about it all. Everyone up in the big house is much more afraid of his mood than they are about the actual war. Although he's as gentle as a lamb compared to a wolf woman.
Wolf woman?
Grandma Wolf. Everyone calls her a wolf woman these days. Not just us. Someone put salt in her tea instead of sugar, and she insists that it was on purpose, which it probably was. She's been ranting and raving about it ever since. Telling us we should find out who it was. Meanwhile, she's treating us all like we're guilty.
Was it you?
Maybe, and maybe not.
Mother had it all arranged before I left school. I was to go and work with Charlie up at Farmer Cox's. I went up there mostly to look after the horses at first. For me, it couldn't be better. I was with Charlie again, working alongside him on the farm. One day, when Charlie and I were haymaking with Farmer Cox, buzzards wheeling above us, swallows swooping the freshly mown grass, as if Father was watching over us. When we did get home, later than usual, dusty and hungry, Mother was sitting bolt upright in her chair, and opposite her, Molly and her mother.
Tommo, Charlie, Molly's mother has been waiting for you. She's got something to tell you.
Yours, I believe. I found them. I read them. Every one of them. So has Molly's father. Molly, I've never seen anything so wicked in all my life. Work, love talk, disgusting. But you've been meeting her as well, haven't you?
Yes.
There, didn't I tell you, Mrs. Peaceful?
I don't see why they shouldn't be meeting. Molly's 16 and Charlie's 17 now. Old enough, I'd say. I'm sure we've had our little rendezvous when we were their age.
You speak for yourself, Mrs. Peaceful. Molly's father and I have made it quite plain to both of them. We have forbade them to have anything to do with each other. The Colonel has warned us about your son's wicked, thieving ways. Oh yes, we know all about him.
Really? Tell me. Do you think what the Colonel thinks? Do you say what the Colonel says? If he said the earth was flat, would you believe him?
I haven't come here to argue. I've come to tell of your son's misdemeanors, to say that I won't have him leading our Molly into the ways of wickedness and sin. You must never see her again. If he does, the Colonel will know about it. That's all I have to say. Come along, Molly.
Well, I'll get some, boys, shall I?
I know I should have told you, Tommo. Molly said I should have. But I didn't want to. I couldn't. That's all. Tell me what? Because I know. And Molly does too. That's why she wouldn't tell you herself. You know what? Well, when it was just letters, it didn't seem to matter that much. But after we began seeing each other, we didn't want to hide it from you, Tommo. Promise. But we didn't want to hurt you either. You still love her, don't you? Good. Well, so do I. So you'll understand why I'm going to go on seeing her. I'll find a way. No matter what that old cow says. Still friends? Friends. Nearly 5 to 1. There is a sliver of a moon out there. A new moon. A silver fingernail. I wonder if they're looking at it back home. Bertha used to howl at the moon. I remember. If I had a sixpence in my pocket, I'd turn it over and make a wish. But it's no good wishing for the moon. It's no good wishing for the impossible. One afternoon, Bertha went missing. We went up into the woods, whistling and calling for her. Then we came to Father's old shack. Beside the shack, the grass was soaked with blood. Behind the shack was Bertha, laid out, with her tongue lolling. She'd been shot. Dead. We all knew who shot her. Big Joe was devastated.
the only option now is that we find Big Joe. We need more people. I'll go up to the big house and get more.
Big Joe? Big Joe? I was just wondering. I was wondering where Big Joe would most want to be.
What do you mean?
Well, I think he'd want to be wherever Bertha is. So he'd want to be in heaven, wouldn't he? So if he'd had to be with Bertha, then he'd have to go up to heaven, wouldn't he?
Are you saying Big Joe has gone and killed himself to be up in heaven with Bertha?
No, of course not. Listen, at Father's funeral, Mother was pointing upward. Mother told Big Joe that Father was up in heaven. I remember. I thought she was pointing upwards in a general sort of way, or at the swallow in the church maybe. But now that I've realised, she was pointing to the top of the church, to the tower. It sounds silly, but I think Big Joe believes that heaven is at the top of the church tower. Has anyone looked there?
No, it's worth a try. Let's go.
Big Joe? Big Joe? Wake up, Joe! For God's sake, wake up!
Is he up there? Is he there?
Hello, Tommo. Hungry.
He's alright. We've got him, Charlie. He's okay.
Oh, Big Joe.
Hello, Charlie.
Hello, Big Joe. His hands locked over his ears. He started singing Oranges and Lemons. I joined in, grateful that he was alive.
We've got Big Joe. Safe and sound. What's happening? What's going on?
You may well ask, Charlie Pistol.
They both ran.
Molly's mother and father have thrown her out, and it's your fault.
No, don't say that. It's not his fault. It's no one's fault.
What's happened, Mom? What's going on?
What's happening, Charlie, is that she's going to have your baby.
They were married up at the church a short time later. There was no one there except the five of us. Everyone knew about Molly's baby by now, so the vicar agreed to marry them on certain conditions. No hymns to be sung, no bells to be rung. He rushed through the marriage service as if he wanted to be somewhere else. There was no wedding feast afterwards, just a cup of tea and some fruitcake when we got home. I moved into Big Joe's room and shared a bed. It wasn't easy, because Big Joe was big and the bed was very narrow. He tossed and turned all night long and talked loudly to himself in his dreams. But as I lay awake, what troubled me most was that two people who I loved in all the world in finding each other, had deserted me. I could imagine them in each other's arms, and I wanted to hate them. At home, I tried never to be alone with Molly. I didn't know what to say to her. I tried to avoid Charlie too on the farm. I took every opportunity that came my way to work on my own. Farmer Cox was always sending me on some errand or other, and I always took my time about it. It was whilst I was making a delivery to Hatherley Market I came face to face with the wolf for the first time.
and girls, I shan't beat about the bush. I shan't tell it all tickety-boo out there in France. There's already been too much of that nonsense already, in my view. I've been there. I've seen it for myself. So let me tell you straight. It's no picnic. It's hard slog. Only one question to ask yourself about this war. Who would you rather see marching through your streets? Us lot or the Hun? Because mark my words, ladies and gentlemen, if we don't beat them out in France, they'll be right on your doorstep.
They'll come marching through, burning your houses, killing your children, and violating your women. They've beaten Grover to Belgium, swallowed her up in one go, and they've taken a fair slice of France too. Now mark my words, ladies and gentlemen, if we don't beat them out there, they'll be right here. They'll gobble us up as well. Well, do you want the Hun here? Do you?
No!
Shall we knock the stuffing out of them then?
Yeah!
Good. Very good. And we shall meet you. 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 And you too, my lad. Your king needs you. Your country needs you. And all the brave lads out there in France need you. Remember one thing, lads, and I can vouch for. All the ladies love a soldier. So, who'll be the first brave lad to come up there and take the king's ship? I'm looking for boys with hearts of oak, men who love their king and country and hate the lousy.
What? You go and fight. Every man can fight for his country. That's what I say. You ain't a coward, are ya? You ain't a coward? Chicken! Chicken! Chicken!
How fine and manly the men look in their bright uniform. Maybe Molly would admire me. Might even love me. If I join up and come home in my scarlet uniform, Mother would be proud. And Big Joe. I'll go to France and kick the stuffing out of those lousy Germans. The cops sent me to Hatherley Market this morning. The army was there, recruiting. Jimmy Parsons joined up, lots of others too.
You're too young anyway.
I'm nearly 16.
You've got to be 17. They don't want boys.
I'm not a boy.
They shouldn't take the men either. What are the women supposed to do? Fend for themselves. What about the mothers? You wouldn't go, Charlie, would you?
I'll be honest, Mom. It's been bothering me a lot just lately. I'd shoot a rat because it might bite me. I'd shoot a rabbit because I can eat it. But why would I ever want to shoot a German? Never even met a German. But I've seen all the lists in the papers. You know, all the killed and the wounded. Pages of them. Poor beggars. Hardly seems right, does it? You know, me being here, enjoying life, and them all over there. It's not all bad, Mol. I saw Benny Copplestone yesterday. He's back on leave. Been out in Belgium. He reckons one big push and the Germans will be running back to Berlin with their tails in between their legs and our boys can come home.
But Charlie, I don't want you to go.
Don't worry, Mol. With a bit of luck, I could be back to wet the baby's head. And Tommo will look after you. You'll be the man about the place, won't you, Tommo?
I'm not staying. I'm coming with you, Charlie. I love what I know, and what I know is my family. You, Molly, and the countryside I've grown up in. And I don't want an enemy soldier ever setting foot on our soil. And I'll do all I can to protect the people I love. And I'll do it with you, Charlie. I have to prove myself.